Hello, bro. So I'm here on my run, and bro, I tell you, if you don't run today, you are not disciplined, because this is a challenge for you in this video. So that you go outside and you go on a run. So right now I'm with my grandparents. I'm in the countryside, and I'm training for the mini marathon that I have on 29th of September, 10.5 kilometers. And it's awesome. Basically, what running will do for you, you want to become a more disciplined individual, right? Well, you gotta push yourself. You might say, oh, this is not really aligned to my goals, to my habits. Just do it. You want to become more disciplined, the only way you do that is actually doing more things that are at an even higher level that you currently have. So what I mean is, don't confuse productivity with discipline. Just because you have done some productive tasks, that doesn't mean you're disciplined. Perhaps it didn't require that much discipline, because discipline, truth be told, is doing something you don't feel like doing, but still doing it because you want a certain result. So you just do that and think about it. Running is perfect for that, right? I mean, you gotta literally keep going for so long. And I challenge you today, bro, to go on a run however much you can. If there's traffic lights, whatever, I understand, but basically try to not stop and just see however much you can keep going, just without stop, right? So just do that. By the way, my name is Sebastian. I help young guys with becoming exponentially more disciplined with their goals, and also to become more confident, more productive. And so if you're interested in that, I have a program that you can get. First link in the description. For the first 10 guys is free, so that I can teach you my self-mastery program. So I'm currently running and preparing for my 10.5 kilometer mini marathon, and I can do it. I went on the track. It was pretty fine. So I basically did all of it without stop. So that's good, because I've been training for so long, for some time. And yeah, we'll keep going, and I'll still keep training. I cannot just get complacent. And likewise, you, bro, need to keep going, because staying at the same level, you might think, oh, but this is hard, Sebastian. Well, yeah, don't confuse discipline with productivity, man. You gotta keep going to newer levels, because let's say you went to a new level that felt super hard. Well, guess what? That level, with some time, it will feel comfortable. So you need to actually give yourself some harder things to do. So look at that, man, beautiful. So a tip I can give you for running longer distances is just take joy in not being pleased. And this doesn't apply just with running, but also with pretty much every task you gotta use discipline for, right? So you want to be more productive in the business you're doing. You want to be more disciplined and actually do the tasks. Discipline, you require that, right? You gotta build it. And I have some methods that I share on the channel and on the blueprint, on the program, that is even super more detailed. And again, for the first 10 guys, it's free. But the thing is, you see, you gotta actually start putting in the work. As you thought, oh yeah, just disciplined individuals, 12 hours a day, and you think you are doing that, but in fact you're not. I know you're not. You perhaps procrastinated on your work right now and watch this video, or scroll through the comments, or basically just wasted a bunch of time on YouTube, and it was not productive. So I challenge you, bro, right now, today, if you don't go on a run, you are officially a loser, undisciplined, unproductive. You just gotta get yourself to do it. And don't think just of the pain of the workout, of the run, how it will feel like, man, I don't feel like doing it. Think about the good feeling, the amazing feeling you will feel afterwards, proving yourself you have self-control, that you can actually go for it, right? So just do that, man. It's not that hard. It's simple. It might not be easy, but again, it's simple. You just go and do it. By the way, beautiful place here. Look at that. Now a way to build way more discipline that I teach is to actually update your identity, and I mean your standards, your self-image. And how do you do that? You basically imagine a laptop, right? Let's say you have a laptop and it has super bad components. You don't see the components, but still those components make the laptop run very, very bad. But what happens when you get the new laptop with way better components? Well, obviously that laptop will perform exponentially better, right? And likewise, your identity, your subconscious mind, your standards, your conscious mind, you gotta update that and install a new driver, let's say, or new components, and basically a new identity. And that's how, based on that, you operate exponentially better. Exponentially better. So, how do you do all that? It might sound silly, but pay attention, because I've been using this for months. Alright? So, please, look, your brain will tell you it's silly. But I've been using this and I've seen massive progress, and I saw I saw successful individuals actually use this, like Charlie Morgan or Wes Watson. They all have been using this principle of just self-image and identity improvement. And basically what you do is you constantly tell yourself every day what trait you want to have. For example, discipline, right? You gotta tell yourself every day that you're disciplined. You might say, what does that change? Because obviously telling it one time doesn't do anything. But if you constantly repeat it, think about it. The more you say something, the more you'll end up believing it. And based on that belief, you update your identity and you run based on that, based on those components. So you perform at a way higher level when you actually update your identity. And so think about it. I've been telling myself for months that I'm a disciplined, productive, consistent individual. And guess what? It just starts. It works with time. As I said this every day, it massively improved my standards. And whenever I felt like not doing some of the right things, well, guess what? My identity said, well, you're not that kind of individual. We don't quit. We're disciplined. And so that's the power of it. And it feels wrong at that point to just skip on the right stuff. So you just go and do it. And so that's how changing your identity massively helps. You'll become way more productive, way more disciplined, and through that, you build way more mental strength and focus. Now, another thing is, you gotta define your goal very well, right? Because if you have just a mundane goal, or just a goal that is not super clear, like all these people that want to get in shape, but they don't even have a goal. They just say, oh, I want to get in shape for summer, or they start the New Year's, right? They quit. Why? Because their goal is not meaningful enough for them. Their situation is more pleasurable than the goal they have. But when you make your goal so much more meaningful to you and so much more important to you than those bad habits, that's when you'll make the change. That's when you'll align your behavior to it. And look, I still keep going, right? I still didn't stop. You see all that? And of course, it's not the hardest thing ever. This is just a couple kilometers. So I just keep going. Since I went outside, basically, right now. But anyway, the thing is, you gotta detail your goal very well. So basically, put stats. Put exactly where you want to get. Exactly the kilograms, exactly the body fat, and exactly the money, exactly the whatever. For example, with the run, exactly how much you want to run, be able to run for uninterrupted. I mean, basically without stopping. stuff like this, or whatever other goal. Just put a specific number on it, and also change your environment to only see on social media people that have achieved that goal, that are just way more advanced than you. You might say, oh, but why would we compare ourselves? Well, because that actually helps us to get to a way higher level. You know that quote, we're the average of the 5 people we spend our most time with? Well, guess what? That applies online as well. So if you constantly listen to people that are way more advanced than you, well, of course you'll become way more advanced yourself if you actually choose to put the action in, right? And I mean, that's what you do, and you keep going, and tell yourself, obviously, constantly this as well. Take joy in not being pleased. Pleasure is not happiness, so you just gotta keep going. That bad habit, those bad habits, they give you pleasure, but they, after that, gave you regret. You got fatter, you got sadder, you got depressed, lonely, all that dumb stuff, unhealthy. So that's regret. So you see, pleasure is not happiness. You need to actually put the work in and develop yourself. I still keep running, bro, and you're watching this video. You gotta constantly develop yourself. Learn, run, train for hard stuff, bro. Why do you think I chose a marathon, bro? Not a marathon, a mini marathon. A marathon, I think, is 42 kilometers, and this one that I got to run in September is like 10.5. It's still something, though. You might think, oh, well, that's not that much, bro. I challenge you then today to go and raise your discipline, and also to see how much you can run. I guarantee, if you don't practice running as a habit per week, multiple times, I guarantee you are not doing even 2 kilometers without stopping. Not even that. So your mental toughness is not as high as you thought, right? You gotta level it up, and it's not complex. It's simple. You just do things that are obviously at a way higher level, that require a lot more mental strength. If you just do that, guess what happens? You update your standard and you get to a way higher level. That's what you do. And like I said, it's simple. I still keep running right now. Still keep on running. Oh, look at that, man. That might be a... Yo, that's a fox, bro. Yo, my brother or sister. Because obviously my last name is Fox. I don't know if you guys see it. I hope you see it. Oh, look at it. Look at it. I hope you can see it. It's running on that field, bro. Anyway. Thing is, another thing I want to teach you, that we teach on the channel. Keep your promises. Whatever you say, and that means not just saying I promise I'll do something, but whatever you say, basically that you will do, you gotta do it. Otherwise, your confidence will just get exponentially lower, because your self-trust gets lower. Imagine all these times you said to yourself that you're gonna do something, and you just did not follow through. Guess what? Your self-trust became lower. Now you're not as confident. But how this relates to discipline? Well, obviously, confidence is massively helpful, right? But how this relates to discipline is that once you begin keeping every promise, do whatever you say you will do, well, guess what? You will hit the level of exposure like you've never seen before. You will feel like, how, bro, when that happened to me many months ago in September, right now it's July, but back then in September when I did this, man, I thought, how is it even possible for a human to feel this good, right? Because you hear all these stories of how amazing it feels to be at a way higher level. But when you actually go yourself, man, is a new experience, because you just heard about it. But when you feel it yourself, it's like incredible. And you'll see this level of exposure and exposure of self-respect and confidence. Don't necessarily indulge in pride and sin, whatever, but at least a good healthy level of self-respect. And how that links to discipline is that whenever you just when you arrive at that level, you're scared of literally breaking your promises, of not doing what you said you would. Because your confidence, you'll see that if you break a promise at that point, after the exposure event, you will feel so bad having that comparison from that amazing great place to back low here. It's not good at all. So that will discipline you to actually go do the thing even when you don't feel like it. And you can use your word because your word is valuable at that point. You make it valuable and you use it to say you'll do this thing that you don't feel like doing. But then you just go and make the task. Do the task, otherwise you'll feel depressed and sad and like a loser because you didn't keep that promise, especially after that great exposure event, after you keep so many promises in a row and never break your word, never break your promise. All right, so that's what you do. If you're more interested, if you're interested in more of these things, of these teachings, go look on the channel. I teach a bunch of them from my personal experience. And also, of course, remember the program. Have a coaching call with me so that I can teach you my in-depth blueprint for discipline, confidence, productivity. And yeah, remember, we're limitless because we never peak if we so choose to. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.